when I landed at Totteridge Academy in Year 7, I was a bit, I don't even know, you know. First 2 years, I kind of enjoyed school a little bit, but as it got more towards the business end of school, then it became a little bit more boring, tiring. I'd have a lot of problems with my anger and being able to contain it. Just going downhill, just kept going and kept going. But then FBB came and just put the play back on track.
Oh, come on, show. Oh my days. Bro. What you said? What you said? None of that. He's looking good. He's looking good. Look at you. Look at you right there.
Oh, chill.
Bro.
No trim or no.
Nah. That's not me.
No, I just feel a little bit explosive in the second time it talks about.
If I can ask you to bring your seat back just a little bit for me, thank you. Last time we delivered as an FB group was what, like 3 years ago? And you know, for me and Stefan, we're still adults, but for you guys, that means turning from boys to men, really. Yeah, it might be good to start off by thinking about that journey and like where we was at 5 years ago. The first time I met this crazy group of lads was in 2018. I think it was like the second month of me working here. It was like, must have been September 2018. Went to their school, they were all young, no beards, no stubble, nothing like that.
Sounds quite cliche, but the minute I met them, I was just like, oh, this is all right. Just being very cheeky. And when I was a teacher for 10 years before I started working at FBB, and I think I always gravitated to the kind of cheeky boys anyway. So I think they realised quite quickly that it wasn't going to be a problem to have that relationship.
When we first met Stefan, he was there like, who's this white boy like, bro? This is why we're going to tell us about, you know, life, school. What's he going to tell us? Oh, I focus on books. But he turned out to be the funniest person I've ever met. Like, through all his hairstyles, through all his fashion trends. Really and truly, Stefan had a buzz cut initially. Can you imagine that? Stefan with a buzz cut.
And then I remember we came in 1 week, you alright guys, Stefan. I was looking, yeah, this guy's a whip man, that was my face. And then in like a week, it's like, you know what, to be fair, it's decent. But then the next week,
like all these things that we got to see, it was kind of like, we didn't expect it from a guy like Stefan, like, but it showed us like to not judge. It taught us, you know, how it actually is to be a male and what you can actually do, really and truly. That's not spoken about.
With Steph, what I did was, I saw him and I was low-key like testing the boundaries, seeing how far I can go into it. But with Steph, it was like there was no boundaries. I could talk about anything and everything. And it was like a place where I felt comfortable in. That's why if you look back on the cameras, I gave him the biggest hug. Because I missed him, genuinely, I missed him so much. Because it was like someone I could actually open up to. He's still an old man, but it felt like another father figure, you know? Like I loved the company that I had with Steph, and it just grew, and it's still growing.
Oh man,
So, yeah.
Got me in my feels there. It's really being able to be a consistent presence in their lives who they know they can trust and they won't receive judgment from, or even any real desire to put them in a box or get them to like do something. It's not really about that. It's actually trying to meet them where they're at and supporting them wherever that is.
That's the consistency in regards to every single young person who steps into FBB. If you join this community, you're going to come out of it with someone who believes in you, with someone who treats you with unconditional positive regard. But when you work with young people, it's not just a one-way relationship. They can help you as much as you help them. And I'm just so grateful to them. You know, now that they're old enough, I can actually say, like, I love every single one of those boys in that group. They are the people who've made me the man I am today. And I want all of you to like go back into that year 8-year-old self when you were 12 years old, 13 years old, right? And I'd like each of you to just go underneath your seats right now and just flip the portrait that's underneath there. And I just want you guys to just look at that.
Nah, you're doing me dirty.
this is
And just look at them. I actually just want you guys to just like look at the picture and just think like, And I
Couldn't
just,
find a better picture than that of me.
I'm sorry, mate.
That's what to
But
find.
honestly, let's just look at the pictures.
Brother.
Just look at them for like a good 20-30 seconds and just think like, who was I back in year 8? Like, where was I at? Just actually think about that. Yeah, 5 years ago, where was you? Just think about it. Just look at the picture. Just look at your own picture, Stefan.
I think I was just really unserious back when like FBB started. I didn't really take it seriously, but then it kind of grew on me. Like after a couple months, it just really made like it tapped into like there's this stigma of men like not being able to show their emotions. Made me feel like relieved that I could show my emotions and I'm going through it with other people. And yeah, that's about it.
Wasn't what I expected at all. Like when I saw it, I was like, okay, it's just like it's probably just the intervention, just the football stuff, and then I'll miss a lesson and just go and do whatever. But the first module, what was it? It was masculinity, right? No, it was toxic masculinity, and that was the first time that I'd ever like looked at myself and said, "Raw, like there's so many things around me that make me who I am."
From when we first met them, we realized that it was a group full of like, full of competing and different needs. But it was when we had that second module with them called What Makes a Man, where we realized, wow, like there is so much opportunity here for us to really unpack what it means to be a man in the context of the lives of these young boys who grew up in North London.
First time talking about it was just like, it was a little bit alien to me at first. It was like, you know, they had like a guard up. You know, they had patience. They had a lot of patience with us, and I was like, okay, cool. This is gonna take some time.
I went through quite a hard time throughout my FEB journey, right? I lost one of my parents throughout my FEB journey. And for me, it hit me deeply. Like it really hit home for me, right? But when I did open up about it, and I told all the guys about it, they're like, wow, like I can really trust these people. You helped me, you listened to me.
It hit the group. It was something that I'm even getting goosebumps talking about now. Like it brought us all together. We cried together. And I was 19 at the time, and being able to do that with a group of boys who are 12 years old. And if I'm thinking back to when I was 12, I never cried in school. You know, I was taught to not do that.
I remember sitting in that classroom with them and thinking, in my years on earth as a man, I've never been with other young men or men my age and ever done that. And just thinking, wow, these guys are so young and they're able to do this together just because we created the conditions to do it, right?
Even then, I remember I was thinking, if I say something, what am I going to say after we leave? They might be calm in the classroom for now, but everyone was actually quite mature about it. That was the first time I realised, like, we're not just little year 8s, like, we're actually people, we're actually men, like, really and truly.
Around our group, we knew that if we all open up together, there's nothing weird, there's no stigma around it. So I think when we did all open up, we all opened up collectively. And through that, then we were able to bring up more and more emotions that we keep hidden and suppressed. Things that you'd never, ever, ever say out loud. You take it to the grave with you, you said it out loud, and there was other people who agreed with you as well. So it's like, you know you're not alone in this.
I went through a lot of hardships along the way, but I feel like everybody does, innit? So I learned to share those moments. And I think it instilled a lot of love between the group.
It would be good for us to read out some letters that we wrote to our future selves around 5 years ago. Your letters from when you were 13 to now when you're 18.
Dear Fernando, yo bro, how's life? How's football? Good, I hope. Keep it up. I don't want you to fall into the wrong crowd. Do you want to end up 6 feet under with roses or 6 feet high with medals? Just think about it. Don't be like dad. Respect women. They're the reason why we're alive. Watch that temper. Remember to not let your excitement get the better of you. The best players and the best men support their teammates and their friends. When all is said and done, these are the things that make the real difference. You have a good heart and you're kind and caring. Be true to yourself. Love from Fernando Sonka.
Yeah.
I was a smart kid. What the hell?
He's an example of someone who's been through so much trauma, so much in his life, but despite that, still had the human potential and the understanding and the maturity to be able to grasp and embrace new ways of processing emotions. So when I think of Fernando, I think of someone who's come so far. I think of someone who is really like a bright light in this world, to be honest with you.
I think a big thing at the time was not getting into the wrong crowd, because I saw a lot of people that were around me that were just like going left. And I never wanted to be like that. I've always wanted to be like, you know what, I'm just gonna stay true, do what my mom asked me to do, and just get on with life.
He had started doing designs for his own clothing brand, and then we had a contact that a few of us know through work. We got some of his drawings to her. Then she messaged and was like, this kid's amazing. Like, I'd love to invite him to London Fashion Week, like backstage for the Burberry show. Fernando managed himself in that space way more comfortably than I did. It was almost like he was like self-actualizing, and I felt like a real spare part. Not in a bad way, in a good way. I was really pleased that he was kind of leading it. There's something about our young people, and I talk about Fernando, but I think it's the same for all of them. It's just about getting them in the right spaces, and once they're there, they just blow people away, because they're just really incredible young men, right?
What I'd be really curious to know about is, yeah, what's the next step for you guys, given that this is probably the final time we're going to see each other before you guys go on and live your adult lives?
This journey really set me up for life. Like, seriously, made me amazing friends, helped me to find out what's truly important in life. Our journey's still not over together. Like, I really don't think it is yet. Like, we're brothers for life, and that's something I really believe in.
Without FBB, I genuinely don't know where I would be. Like, seriously, only God knows where I would be at right now. That's me being so real. I therefore want to give back out to the world what I received. And this isn't just for boys, like, I'm being so honest, this is for everyone out there who ever wants it. Like, I wish that there would be more role models like I received from FBB. And that's something that I want to put back out into the world, 100%. And that's not only what I want, it's what I'm going to do. I believe in it.
They're such kind young men, and they're not afraid to champion each other and to tell each other how they feel about each other. And I would say never lose that, but also keep, being a unique individual as well, and finding your own path and deciding for yourself what kind of man you want to be.
It was a mad journey, but if anything, it made them closer. A brotherhood was formed as a result of all of our shared experiences. I think my message to them for the future is keep that brotherhood alive, because this is honestly like a group of young men who, for me, have redefined what it means to be a man, and who can use that to change the world.